welcome to the show. Hello. Planet Cable, thank you for showing up. Very quickly, I might add. How are you doing? We've got some fun stuff planned today. Last time I streamed Rift, I did a bunch of custom tracks. But today, we'll be making our own. I've got a handy little hotkey set up over here so that I can transfer between Rift and the Rift editor. First things first, I want to play through a couple of custom Rifts that I've already made. Hang on a moment. Remy had a drink from it. Very nice. Alright. Was not expecting that. They went out for lunch today, but they brought me back a soda. Not my usual method of hydration, but it would be nicely. I did not actually get myself water today for a good reason. Or maybe not a good reason, but a specific reason. But this will do fine. Anyhow, everything should be working okay. Yeah. Alright. First things first, I want to show off what I've already done. And that means, let's brush off the easy of the medium one first. I'll start with the medium one. There are actually a lot more of those, so I'm going to go to Impossible, scroll down to it. There we go. This is one. Then flick over. So, Metalmancy. This is for the death metal fight in Crypt of the Necrodancer. And the A-Rival remix is the one that plays by default when you play as Melody, Cadence's mom. You have the golden loot and you're bouncing around and it hits all around you whenever you move. It's very fun. But I modeled this track specifically after the death metal fight. So, the medium track is meant to emulate a Floor 2 death metal fight. So you start with zombies. And if you hit the shield, then death metal spawns bats. But once the shield is gone, death metal starts summoning skeletons. And because this is the Floor 2 fight, I've included shielded skeletons in with the regular ones. But now we flip into the third phase, where death metal starts summoning the yellow skeletons. And that's a little fun segment there. I messed it up. Where I used the bats. to show where the skeletons were going to be. And I use bounce traps as well, a lot. In every version of this track. Because there are bounce traps that spawn by default in the death metal fight. But in his final phase, death metal starts blasting you with fire. And that's what this is meant to emulate. I had a lot of fun coming up with that. But the map evolves as you transfer between difficulties. So if we go then to hard, it's meant to emulate the third floor fight. And you can safely ignore this one up here. That is the file that's still on my computer. This one is the one that I've uploaded, the one that I've published. This one's a lot harder, actually. It's still got the thing that death metal summons, and then the bats. But now they're triple shielded skeletons. Ah, I messed that up big time. Triple shielded skeletons in with the others. But the bats are harder, the floor enemies are harder, and the skeletons themselves are hard as well. I wanted this to feel as much, to be as much of a natural evolution on the gimmicks as it could be from medium, and that as much of a natural evolution from easy as possible. But it gets worse. It gets much worse. Because then I made an impossible difficulty version of the track. And that one is meant to emulate the floor 4 fight. So it's got harpies. It's nasty. And I don't know if I can beat it. I have evidently beaten it previously, but it's gonna be a little harder on stream because the timings are slightly messed up. But the thing about floor 4... That's difficult. On floor 4, Death Metal summons liches that confuse you if you get too close. So I made liberal use of the confusion traps in this map. And I set it up to look like the skeleton is responsible. It's been so long since I've done this. It's been so long since I actually made that. I mean, not that long, but I'm very, very clearly out of practice. Holy crud. But I had a lot of fun coming up with the gimmick that the skeleton would be the one casting the confusion spell. That's terrifying. Lol. I'm glad you think so, Planet. That's my take on an impossible difficulty map. And I have actually beaten one of the impossible difficulty base game tracks, one of the easiest ones. And there are a couple of other custom impossible tracks that I've beaten, but they're kind of rare. Let's see, this one tosses a ton of really rough stuff at you right at the start, like impossible to deal with stuff, and then the rest is super slow because it's the Game Over soundtrack from this game. Then you get your meme tracks like that one. Yeah, I think... Oh, no. This one's based off of a Pro ZD sketch about rhythm games. But there's a lot that I wanted to show off. And actually, I wanted to have a look at this one for the first time as well on this stream. We're not intending to showcase other people's custom levels today, but this one intrigued me specifically because they mentioned it had a custom portrait. And it was a while back that someone made a mod for the workshop that wasn't a custom track. It was a tool to add your own custom sprites. So I want to see what this looks like. Ah, that's adorable.
You okay? You look kind of tired. Do you need a moment?
So I figured.
I don't blame you for taking a rest after all that. I could go for a nice, relaxing defragmentation myself.
I will likely not be making any custom portraits.
Thanks for visiting Indigo Park. Hope all your dreams came true. If you've got some time and you're up for a lark, stick around for the Rainblay review.
But this was
Here to offer my best to each valuable guest I assume.
something that I did not want to shirk on showing off. And I do really want to actually play the next chapter of Indigo Park on stream. The first one's free. I'll have to play that one first, I think. Similarly to how I did Deltarune, but I probably not gonna have the best reactions. Messed up the combo. Anyway, probably not gonna have the best reactions to it because I've basically seen all of it already, but the next chapters, I think maybe could go well. 4 mil views.
Right on.
Looks so adorable. I'm doing well. Which I just realized means now that I have to do poorly, so we can see that's right too. Oh no, I didn't mean to lose, but there we go. Got to show that off. I'll have to play through chapter 1 before chapter 2 comes out sometime. Speaking of which, Deltarune, tomorrow, and not actually tomorrow. Did what you said you were going to, lol. It worked. Anyway, Deltarune tomorrow, but not actually tomorrow. That's gonna be fantastic. But I should mention, for the rest of May, I am probably going to be cutting streams down to once a week. But with that said, I'm going to probably stream multiple... Excuse me, guys. Probably going to stream multiple things in a day. So, one stream, multiple games for the rest of May. No, I don't hate you, Planet. To make up for it, I'm going to make sure to plow through the backlog of stream VODs for the VOD channel. And like I said, I'm going to be streaming multiple things in a day, and they're hopefully going to be long streams as well. There's going to be a bit of scheduling conflict, I suspect, coming up. And that stinks. I am not happy about it myself, but this is the solution that I came up with. Anyhow, this is the other custom track that I've been working on, The Duke, from Die in the Dungeon. And I wanted to have a look at this one too. I've only done easy and medium, and I kind of did medium first, and then realized, oh, this is maybe a bit too difficult to be the easy difficulty. So I'm gonna transfer it to the medium difficulty of the track. And then simplify it for the easy version of the tracks. Dang, sorry to hear about that. Looking forward to seeing what you got, though. I mean, when I return, it's going to be Deltarune chapters 3 and 4. And that's going to be crazy. But yeah. I did do something special with this track as well, and I'd like to see if you can notice what it is. So, did you happen to catch what it was? I will transfer over to the medium version of the track, and we'll see if that makes it more obvious. I will be silent throughout, so you can have a better listen to what's going on in the track. Not sure enough about the game to say for sure, lol. I bet you can get it. I will be silent for this one. This was what I originally made for excuse me, 4 easy, and then I realized this is more of a medium difficulty, so I transferred it to medium, and then tweaked the track for the sake of easy. Anyway, here we go.
In the zone. Excellent. Now we're talking.
It's cut down? No.
Impressive.
Yeah, it floods it up at the end there. But anyways, what I did was I used different monsters for different instruments. The,
Oh yeah.
I'll actually retry, and we'll see if you can notice it a little better now that I've said what it was that I did. Of course, it being the Duke. Oh yeah, I missed that entirely. It being the Duke, I had to go with Blade Masters.
Yes.
It seemed only fitting. But for the violin, mosquito-y sounding bits, I used the worms for the whole notes. That one was the most obvious. And then it just kind of... It just kind of evolved from there.
Right on.
But then you get to the xylophone.
Impressive.
And then there's the theremin that comes in. Heck yeah, dude. Makes it a pattern that's easy to recognize but difficult to execute. I'm very happy with how it turned out. I hope it's sustainable. I don't know how effective it will be in the later difficulties. But we're not here to do the later difficulties of the Duke. We're here to do a different song entirely. And we're going to be jumping
Not
right
too
into...
shabby.
I've only gotten an A on this before? Interesting. I'm gonna have to do better, I think, in the future. Gonna have to try that one again. Anyhow, we are not here to do that. We are here to do this. A new file. And we will save it as a new track. Enter track name. Actually, hang on. I'll just save it as Siren. There we go. I did actually have this cool one, the VFX test track, that I wanted to use for shenanigans. It's interesting. This is actually planning for VFX for the Duke track specifically. Yeah, well, actually, let's... Hang on. Uh-oh. Oh, my shortcut messes that up. There we go. Let's show that off. You could do some fun stuff with the editor for just kind of showing off. That was one that a pattern that I wanted to use specifically. And then there's this one that leaves the cracks on the ground. That's what happens if you overlay a portal with the portal exit. Anyway, I was just messing around with portals because I wanted to do some fun stuff with the Duke track. And
Yep.
I discovered the little portal thing, and I think that's perfect because in the Duke boss fight, they have the attack that leaves the leaky squares on your board, and those look all cracked. So I figured I'd toss these in to the Duke track so that it would add a little bit of visual interest / visual distraction. Make things a little bit harder. But yeah, for the most part, the fireballs bathe in fire in the Metalmancy track. Those are mostly for show, but they will occasionally, as you saw, hit the skeletons and cause them to move faster. But half the time, they weren't hitting anything, and that's just because they were the fire bars to emulate the effects of the fireball spell. And this too is interesting VFX stuff that I want to do in that track, and we can maybe pull out some interesting VFX things for this track as well. Now let's see. We go over to level settings, subdivisions. I don't know about the subdivisions yet. We'll get to that. Countdown. This is a new setting. I'm not sure what that is. Offset. That's a new setting too, but I think I know what that will do. Titled, subtitled, template track, artist, author. I can type. Character. Which one would work the best here? Harmony, I think. I think. Anyway, select the audio file real quick. That is not showing up in OBS, is it? It is not. It does not appear to be. So, good. Hold on, it's occurring to me that I may have made a slight error. Library, let's see. Soundtracks only. That's the one. There we go. What if I just want to download one of the tracks? Okay. Alright, that's fine. Hopefully this doesn't take too long. I forgot to do this beforehand. Oops. Okay. While we're working on that, let's... You know what? I'll show off the rest of... the Metalmancy track, but with a little trick up my sleeve, the golden loot plays the game automatically for you. So it is very good for testing out whether a track does what you want it to do. So you'll get to see the whole thing in its entirety, played perfectly. Just not by me. Hang on. It's slightly messed up. Oh, this is gonna take forever. It's only 19% through. Okay. Okay. Bit of stutter there. Not sure what that was. But I used the practice mode a lot, so I wouldn't have to focus on... I used the golden loot mode a lot, I should say. So I wouldn't have to focus on actually hitting the notes so that I could watch and see if the effect actually worked the way I wanted it to. And then the lit shop there moves to the top of the screen, and you barely get a moment to see what exactly is going on before the monsters get mystery-ified. And then it gets worse in part 2. It gets so much worse in part 2. The trick to that bit is hitting down and then up and then down again. And then for this bit, I liked the dancing skeletons there, so I messed it up in as many creative ways as I could manage in the different tracks. And this bit is probably the least changed. In the difference between hard and impossible. Out of the whole thing, anyway. 2 misses? I didn't know that was possible. I didn't catch it. What happened? The loot missed 2 notes? How? Excuse me? I didn't notice that before. What did it miss? Was that when everything was glitching out? Dropped a bunch of frames for a bit there. That might have been it. Gotta go again. See what happened. That might have been it. I broke it? Yeah, I think I broke it. But the golden loot mode also lets you figure out the best possible place to trigger the vibe chain. Very useful for that. But then there's also the practice mode, and that is also incredibly useful. And I think I have actually brought this up to you specifically, Planet, sometime previously. It behaves a little weirdly with things that stick around on the board for a long time, like what I've done with the dancing heads here. But for the most part, it's very good for testing. No, yeah, I brought it up when we were doing the Rickroll. You're doing great. Thank you. Oh dear. My internet forked. I'm not sure what's up with that. It looks like it's doing better now. Hopefully it stays that way. I can't imagine that the roommate would have needed to warm something up. That'd be a little odd. Okay, did you miss anything this time? No. Okay. That was peculiar. It must have been when it borked out. But yeah, 413 combo. Actually, markedly low for impossible tracks of this intensity. I compared it to others. But yeah, it matters a smidgen less. Yeah, full combo. Golden loot. It matters a smidgen less because I tossed some really funky patterns in there. Really, really mean, nasty things. Okay, we're at 92%. I might as well do another custom track myself. There was another custom portrait one that I saw. It was hard impossible, though. What do you think? Too big to fail? Want me to do a hi-fi rush for you, Planet? We've still got just a smidgen left to... Oh, never mind. Never mind. It's done downloading. Okay, we'll have to save that for the next time I do other people's custom tracks. Absolutely. Sorry. Sorry. You'll have to tune in next time I stream Rift for that, I think. Excuse me. Hello. Okay, there we go. That bro hates us. No, I don't. I'm saving the best for last, you could say. Okay. Select cover art. Actually, this should come with the, and you can't see when it's. Yeah, no. Said there was a shortcut on the desktop. Actually, hang on. If there's a shortcut on the desktop, I can at least find open. I should be able to find the path to that. This is how I did the other ones. More options. What if I copy this path and then put it in up here? No! Okay, hang on. Should be able to find it. Come on, come on. What's the file path for that? Where did it go? Downloads, maybe? No, there's the link to the past sound effects. I downloaded a whole bunch of those back in the day, but would it put it in music? Guess not. Maybe. Gosh, I should have taken better note of what I did the first time around. That felt a lot easier previously. Ah! Come on. Okay, what if I copy his path and then open this and then put that in there? That didn't work. That's peculiar. Okay, what if I open up Steam, right click, manage, browse local files. There we go. There we go. Okay, now I copy that track. Okay, I just needed to browse the local files and go there. Okay. Oh, pull that back up, pull that back up, pull that back up. Select audio file. Go there. Open up. The Cove Battle Siren. There we go. I wanted to do this one because I figured it would be fun. Gonna get and eat some food, so gonna look around. See you around planet. So let's start. Ah, good. Okay. Cover art. Oh, good. It's right there. Actually. Yeah. Does that work? I think that worked. Okay, background video. I have not adjusted that at all. And I think... difficulty. I think we're going to do hard and impossible. I'm probably not actually going to do impossible today, but we're going to do hard. I thought it would be cool, perhaps, if I did Cove Battle for easy and normal difficulty. And Cove Battle with Siren for hard and impossible. Let's say maybe intensity 17. Just as to toss that out there. I will adjust that before uploading it. And actually, let me double check, make sure that I have the information on this track correct. The Cove Battle Siren featuring Jennifer Chow. I'm not actually sure that's how that is pronounced, but And who is credited with this? Go Battle Siren. We'll cut feet down to FT. And now it just says foot Jennifer Chow, but that's fine. That is an acceptable shorthand for, okay. Darkest Dungeon soundtrack. Do I have the Bandcamp? It says Stuart Chatwood is the, yeah, veteran composer Stuart Chatwood, according to this. Stuart Chatwood. Stuart Chatwood. Go. Actually, do I put featuring Jennifer Chow in the subtitle or not? Maybe I just leave it very long. What do I put as a subtitle then? Oh, what I should put as the subtitle is one of the narrative voice lines. Hang on. Hang on. Narrator voice lines, all Darkest Dungeon. They're the ones specifically about. Remind yourself that overconfidence is a slow and insidious killer. No, they're the ones specifically about the siren. Hang on. All narrator. How would I find what I need here? Exposition? Darkest Dungeon. Main story / all narrator act quotes. Oh, heck, that's loud. Okay, no, that's Darkest Dungeon 2. How did I manage to click on that? Here we go. All boss voiceovers / narrations. No, that's an ad for the Pixar series. Nope. Mastery over life and death was chief among my early pursuits. Let's see, where's the siren? There's the siren. Hang on, I don't need the voice line. I could probably find this on the wiki. Hang on. Narrator, story, Darkest Dungeon wiki. I'm putting so much effort into this subtitle. Cinematics. Cinematics. No, that's not what I was looking for. Ruin has come to our family. No. No. No, that's spoilers. Don't want to get into that. Hang on. Siren. What if I just look up siren? Do you have... What's the... Blah, 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 blah. Memoirs, the Siren. My lofty position wasn't always accompanied by the fear of office, and there was a time when I could walk the streets or raise a glass in the tavern without concern for molestation. Faithful as the tide, one precocious village waif made it her hobby to shadow my every errand. It was charming then, troublesome later. In financial desperation, I struck a bargain with the ancient things that surfaced in search of sacrifice when the moon was right. Their price was the delivery of an obscure idol and one other item of more troubling portent. The pact struck. My newfound accomplices slipped silently beneath the brackish water. A fearful stirring at the edge of the torchlight betrayed a familiar witness and gifted me with malign inspiration. Under the blood moon, I lured my wide-eyed prey to the pier's edge. Before she could properly appreciate her position, I clamped down a manacle, chaining her to the leering idol. A small push was sufficient to send both into the icy waters, and, when at length the tide receded, jewels of the most magnificent grandeur lay scattered upon the shore. Yikes. Okay, hang on. That is not one of the most catchy of the narrator's lines. Okay. Narrator lines. Narrator responses. I just want a catchy one. Put it in as a subtitle. What are the ones that play at the start of a boss? Come on. Fandom.com. I just want to do this thing. Let me do this thing. Come on. You don't have to load your ads. Stop that. Come on. Come on! No! I want to see the page, stupid fan. No, it's unresponsive! Okay, hang on. All narrator voice lines. Darkest Dungeon. Didn't want Stanley Parable. Sorry, Stanley Parable. Okay, hang on. Expedition to kill a boss. That's the one. Jump to that one. Nope, this is just... Nope, nope. Okay, hang on. Entering the coves. Other mission, boss mission against a siren. I always wondered what became of the unfortunate little waif. That is perfect. I mean, that's a bit deceptive as well, because I think maybe I use the smell of rotting fish is almost unbearable. Because that's an explore mission, but it is perhaps more fitting and also decidedly shorter. There we go. Okay. Goodness, I spent far too much time on that. Um. What do I do, Coda? I don't know. Coda might look more fitting. I'm not sure. Okay. Next thing is going to be BPM. I have got a rather convenient BPM calculator. So I will just here's how I've been doing this. Preview from the start. Go to the BPM calculator. It says it's 148. $148 seems correct. Okay, so we'll put in 148. Here's the other thing as well. It's a little funky about where the song ends. Anyway, BPM, we'll put in 148, and hopefully that will be adequate. Save. Preview from start. And you can see where the rift shows here. But it's going to end shortly after this green slime, since I placed it there. So we'll just place the occasional green slime to keep the track going. And then we'll figure out where it ends. And I wanted to do this one specifically so I could play around with more worms. This first step is a little awkward, but kind of necessary. And we'll go through and delete the slimes later once we've found where the end is. The actual end. Oh, this track is going to be so fun. We're an hour in. We're an hour in and we haven't started placing monsters yet. Not for real. Bells as well. That's gonna be fun. It'd look the best if I got to use the golden slimes for that, but it sounds like it's just 2 notes with echoes afterwards. We could always double the BPM so that you could fit in more monsters. That's one way that tracks, some tracks go from medium to hard. we're already getting pretty high up in the number of total beats on the riff, so... This is an evolution on the song, because there wasn't the pounding soundtrack before. Percussion. Going to end soon. This is longer than either of the other ones I've done, I think, at this point. Now that might be trouble, actually. We might have to offset it. It looks like it's desynced. Okay. If that's what this is, like I thought, offset, then we might be able to do just fine. Now, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put yellow slimes all the way through the first bit here. Actually, this would be the perfect time for a line. And then we're going to go in with the golden loot. Is there any overlap here? I don't think there is. Okay, then we're going to go in with the golden loot and set it to the job of keeping time for us like a metronome. Unfortunately, it's very good at that. And then we'll see if it's actually synced up. And then if it's not, we'll adjust until it is, I guess. Ugh. Music. So it should have loaded here. The Co-Battle Siren. Oh, I'm realizing now that... Okay, how high? Up here. Oh, it's right next to the Duke. That's handy. I think that looks good. It's cut off a bit there, but that's fine. Okay. Turn on the golden loot. Let's rock. Is the metronome adequate? Accurate.
On a roll.
It feels off.
Yes, yes.
It feels off. Okay, so. Let's extend it for longer. Actually. Well, I tried. I figured if it kept playing, then I could go further up without having to scroll there. I think I hit a keyboard shortcut that has made this easier and simultaneously a little more annoying. Okay. Did it sound too early? Or what's going on there? Also, I want to see what happens if we turn on the countdown. Save. And then retry. Because this reloads it, which is very handy. It's off. That might be the BPM being off as well. Okay, countdown 8 beats, save. What's the difference? Retry stage. Oh, I see. There's a little... Aha! Let's turn it to 4 beats. Yeah, that's still slightly off. I'm gonna try the BPM calculator again. Actually, let me skip to where these are not. There we go. Because that is messing me up. Oh, I messed it up. Try again. No, I didn't want to copy that to clipboard. Suggesting that it might be 145. That sounds a bit more reasonable. That would explain why there was the offset. Okay, so let's try 145. 145. Save. And then retry. That's also not correct. Oh boy, hang on. Maybe BPM. Maybe I can just find out. Code battle. Darkest Dungeon. I'm not the best at this. It worked out for the other two that I did. Nope, doesn't mention it whatsoever. Okay, we're stuck to doing it ourselves. I feel distinctly that I'm messing it up. Is it 147? Now it's reading 146 or 147. It's evened out at 147. Holy cow. I think I might have gotten that almost correct on the first try. Okay, we're gonna try 147. 147. Save. And now, retry it now. Is it good now? 147 is so odd. It still feels off. I'm going to try 146. And just to be certain that it is actually using the one that I intended for it to. Oops, cancel. Save. Oh, you can see it down there. Okay, cool. I will put a golden one at the start. Yeah, okay, this is correct. It sounds off again. It got off again. What is wrong? What is the BPM supposed to be actually? We're dealing with all of the frustrating bits first. Okay, hang on. Scroll to here. Play. It's sticking at 147. I think it might be 147. Yep. Still in time. I think it's 147. Okay. All settings, 147. Okay. Save, preview and start. Let's stick that in the middle row. Save. Retry. Is this correct? Please tell me it's correct. I think it is. I think we're good. I think we're good. I think this is correct. Okay. I'm sorry, I haven't been transferring between the two as I have needed to. My apologies. Okay. Lines. Okay. And then we'll put something at the end just to make it super extra obvious. That's actually the end. Okay, when is that chime? $654.5? Okay. This will help see if there's any desync. The metronome should still work here at the end if the timing is correct. I don't know, it doesn't seem that obvious. I think we may have been bamboozled. Oh, that's interesting. It's based on where this is. Okay. Okay, that explains a lot, actually. I feel like maybe something is still screwed up. I swear that after all the trouble we went through, the BPM is correct. But maybe it's still offset slightly. I'm gonna preview from start. Okay, so if I have it set to an integer, and then I snap the timeline to it, and anything else I place by default will be on the integer. Okay, that's very handy to know. Because previously I was just kind of futzing around doing whatever I needed to do to put it in the correct place. But that is going to massively streamline the work. This is going to be a long one, especially if I intended to make an easy and a medium difficulty too. I think I might not, actually. I'll stick with hard and impossible. Or maybe I'll just do medium and hard. Maybe we can start. That sounds correct. is gonna end in disaster, isn't it? Well, I can always control Z if I need to. Okay. I can just pause it to make sure that I get the placement correct. Okay. This is gonna carry me to the top. Actually, I think I could scroll it. If I place, scroll, that works actually. Faster than it does. Scrolling and holding it is a little annoying, but I can manage. Also going to be annoying getting rid of all of these after the fact, but I need to be sure that the tempo is correct, or everything is going to be screwed up for everyone who plays this, and I am going to have a heck of a time trying to make the map if everything is screwed up in the first place. 5, 77, 80, 90, 100. Keep scrolling. Come on, you can scroll faster than that, can't you? There we go. There we go. Okay, that's all of them. Should go right up to the end. Okay, save. Now. Retry stage. Please metronome this correctly. Tell me that this is okay all the way through.
Most excellent. In the zone. Good, good. Excellent.
It's off. It's off already. Okay. Okay. This is fine. It has to be fine. We're gonna try 146.
Three, two, one, let's rock.
Please don't tell me that the BPM of the song changes partway through. That would suck.
Right on.
off. That's even more pronounced than before. So we'll try adjusting in the other direction. What about 150? Maybe it's just 150 and I've screwed it up massively every time that I've done the thing. Preview from the start. And we'll put in a little white skeleton as a treat. Save. Retry stage. Just to make sure that everything is correct.
3, 2, 1, move! Quite amusing. All right.
This feels off.
On a roll.
It's off. I don't think the BPM counter can handle half beats. Can we do 146.5? This can handle it. What if it's... What if it's...
3, 2, 1, bring it on!
What if it's got a decimal? And that's the reason it's been getting very slightly off.
You've got spark.
Still good.
In the zone. That's how it's done.
I think that's still correct. I think it's still good.
Yes, yes.
I think this is it. I think this is why I was having so much trouble with it. It's got a decimal in it, and my stinking BPM counter can't do decimals. Now this sounds slightly off still, so it might not be 0.5. Yeah, it's off. Oh, that's interesting. interrupted the combo.
Nearly done.
Okay. Okay, so that's still not quite correct. We're gonna try 1.146.75. See if that stays all the way through.
3, 2, 1,
And
let's
if
go.
this doesn't work, then we'll try 0.25.
Yes, yes. Awesome. I'm on fire. Awesome.
This feels like it might be going just a little bit too fast. We'll try 0.25 next. I've never had one that had to be this precise before. Then again, this is my third one, but... Okay, we'll try 0.25. I'm not gonna bother swapping back to it, because it's just me adjusting this one number very slightly. 0.25. Save. Okay, retry stage.
3, 2, 1, bring it on.
And if this is just a little bit too slow,
Good.
then we'll go up again, get a little closer to 0.5, maybe try 0.33
we're
or something.
talking. In the zone.
Yeah, this is definitely too slow. Okay, so 0.5 is not correct. 0.25 is too slow. 0.75 is too fast. I'm not sure how 0.5 is incorrect. We'll try point... Four?
Three, two, one, go. Right on.
We'll likely have to go longer before we see a noticeable change. Because 0.5 lasted a long time before it got desynced to a noticeable degree. Technically, it doesn't matter if it desyncs to a noticeable degree as long as that happens after the song is over. It just has to be good enough throughout the whole song.
That's how it's done.
Feels a little bit too slow. We're gonna try going for 0.6 next, I think. Yeah. 0.6 next. 146.6.
Three, two, one, let's rock.
this is too fast, then we'll go down to 0.55.
On a roll. You've got spark.
Still good. Sorry this bit is taking so long. I didn't expect it to. Both other times I got it in 1 or 2 tries. Still good. A little hard to tell because the violins or whatever string instrument that is in the background is very soft, and it being a hold note doesn't help much. But man, would you say it's a hold note? It doesn't stop being a note, I don't think, but. On piano, you just get glissandos. It's been a long time since I've taken piano lessons. Feels like it might be a little bit off, but I can't tell how exactly. Maybe a little bit late? Nope, that's on time. Is this good enough? Siren starting to sing on half beats is not helping. I think that might be correct. What did I do to that? Why is it shaped oddly? Why is it shaped so oddly? What happened? That's peculiar. What happened? It wasn't like that a second ago, I don't think. Why is it so wide? What did I do? What did I do? Excuse me? Uh... I wish there was a tooltip that explained what some of these things did. That selection panel, no. Scrolling, that's fine. Scroll speed. Let's crank this up a smidgen for this really long track. Split skeleton morning. BPM scaling tool. I'm still not certain what that does. Armadillos are funky enough already. Why is it so wide now? What did I do? I mean, I guess it doesn't matter that much, but... I want to be scrolled out and still have access to that. That feels like it's zoomed in way too far. Why is it like that? Oh, that's unsettling. Why did it do that? Oh, that's cool. I never actually used the picker before. I never used that either, actually. That's so much more handy. I'm learning more about this every time I use it, actually. Columns. Fourth seems, well, it seems acceptable. Up BPM, double BPM. Useful for... why is it so squished? I don't want to be squished. Why is it squished? Actually, this might be handy for placing things if I knew what to do with that. That sounds useful, actually. Names. I don't want to auto-stack objects, actually. Lock x-axis. Oh, that's what it means, lock x-axis. Okay, no, I do want that, actually. Thank you. Show cursors in multiplayer. You can... Hang on. You can have multiple people editing one at once? I hadn't considered that. Multiplayer is available in Crypt, and the Rift editor is based off of the same engine, so I guess that would work. Wow. Let's just set this to 2. Nope. Selection panel columns for panel scroll speed. Oh, yeah, maybe you should limit the camera zoom, actually. Timing indicator is fine. Format fractional. Yeah, no, that's good. What could possibly have gotten screwed up? It wasn't that, was it? No, that did not fix it. I'll set that back to what I wanted. Just double for now. That's so weird. And I don't know if I'm gonna use any armadillos. I find that maybe that would be a bad idea. I don't know. Control shift doesn't do squat. Control shift scroll, I should say. That's what I would expect the width to be most of the time when I'm working on stuff. But the squish! Don't need to configure controls. What the heck have I done that messed that up so much? Okay. 146.6 is what I want it to be set at in the end. What if I set this to 145? Does that fix this? It didn't. 146.6. I'll set it back. I did not do anything. Changing the size of this is not... Okay, hang on. What if... Did that? This is gonna look weird. No, that did not change it either. Okay, let me get it back to what it needs to be. Give me a sec. Okay. Because I was going to say, I could have sworn that it looked normal a second ago. So, adjusting the size of the window is not what did it. That's very peculiar. Nope, not that. I don't want it to be this zoomed in order to see the beat numbers. I don't want it to have to be. That's weird. That's so weird. What did I screw up somewhere? That's interesting, how I scroll in and scroll out and they're still labeled. Oh, that's very odd. And not helpful, I don't think. Why is it flickering like that? I don't like that. No! This is not conducive to working on this. Ah! And this did not fix it, right? No, that decidedly did not fix it. It has only made things worse. Okay. Selection panel columns didn't change that, right? No. Set it back to 4. Limit camera zoom did not affect that. Auto snap on preview pause, that's something that I adjusted after the fact. So that's not responsible. Speeding up or slowing down the preview playback. I didn't actually know that. I didn't know that was possible. Why? Why are you like this? Look at how weird that is. It's not aligned properly. That's not helpful. That's not helpful. No. Well, I guess I can do not but hope that it works when I need it to. Okay. Actually, hang on. We were going to do the bit at the end. Make sure that that is accurate. Zoom in so that I can be more precise. Zoom out so I can actually see the numbers. Ugh. $6.53. That's the end. start to skip there. All right. When does the first siren note start? $13 to... what was it? I wish I could see more of the editor. Okay, 20 to 21, 18 to 19. So 13, starting at 13, go to 17. And then it would make the most sense to do that, I think. Actually, it would make more sense to do and then another worm starting at 21. And ending on 27, I think? Yeah. There we go. And you might notice that it gets a little weird when you have things that extend off screen. $29. And then something new at 32, so this stops at 31. $37. $43, I think. There we go. Okay. Hang on. I can do this better because in the Duke one, for the zombies specifically with the theremin, the direction and position of the zombies indicated how the pitch of the note was changing. Hang on. It's been so long since I've done piano, which Which side of the piano is the high, not thigh, high note? Goodness gracious, this is making me realize that I have retained nothing from my piano lessons at all. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Okay, so high is to the right? That doesn't feel right. Hang on. Actually, you know what I can do? I can just look up someone playing a glissando, and that will help. Glissando. On piano. Alright, pianolessons.com. Show me how to do this. No, I don't want the ad. Skip the ad. Which side is the high note? Yeah. Show me the glissando. Nope, yep, right is the high side. Okay. Okay, so that would mean that it would make the most sense for this. Okay. For this to go there. Okay, and then this bat to go here. With this going there. But then but then I can start in the middle again. There we go. And then when we're done with the Siren's notes specifically, we can toss in some of the background stuff as well. The other assorted notes. And the various interesting patterns that are included in those. Is that 45? Nope, not there. $247. Nope. Is that the same as the other one? I think it is. Okay. Ooh, it does something different. Okay, 53 and 54. I think that's through 58. Actually, it might be through 57. 55 through 57. Through 64. Where does that go to? 268. That's maybe a middle. I think that's another 4-note, 4-note. So 69 through 72, and then 73 through 76. Does that start right on 77? I think it does. '79 through 80. I think that's what that is, right? Yep. I think that actually extends for 4, and then is followed up by... Yep, another 4. 89 through 92. Whoop, not bad. Hang on. Okay. In here somewhere are the klaxons, the ship's bells. I want to include that. There it is. I think that's 84.5. One way to find out. It is. Okay. What will work the best there, then? Actually, is there another... not really. It echoes, but it's... kind of an extended, drawn-out... Yeah, what you'd expect a bell to do. Okay. I like putting in the siren notes, but we should start over and listen for other things that we should include. Oh, there was a bell. I think it's 24 and 25. Is it 24 and 25, though? It might not be. I think it's not 24 and 25. I think it's slightly before 24. Is it 23 and a half? I don't think it is. I don't think it's that either. I think it's not that. 25 is correct. Yeah, that's too early. So is it then 23 and 2/3? It is. Two-thirds. What else has that hit pattern? Is it this? No. Hang on. That's 2/3. So then it would be 24 and 24 and a third. 24 and a third lines up with that. So technically, that's very interesting. 140. I think that's Yellow Armadillo on 40. I don't think I like this. That is not a fun pattern. I don't know. Maybe some people would find that fun, but that Not bad. That's not as bad. That's up to. Yeah, one of these is picker. Ah, cute. What is it? That's overlap, so that indicates that it's okay. So 2/3. That kind of stinks when you overlap it there. Bum, bada, da. Let's save it and actually. Plus and minus. That's what I've been using. That's why it's all messed up. I was using plus and minus to swap between scenes. I was using plus and minus to swap between scenes and... okay. Okay. This is fine. Okay. Let's try it out. Let's try it out.
Let's go.
Maybe it's not horrible.
Quite amusing.
No, that's bad. That's very mean. I don't like that. I don't like that. That's hard, and I don't like it. I don't like how it overlaps there.
3, 2, 1, let's go.
Maybe we'll toss that in impossible. I'm not sure. I can't take my finger off of it in time. Okay, that's still fine. That's still fine. Okay. Oh no. Okay, so I have to swap manually, I guess? Oh dear. Oh dear. Okay, so taking that out. Hang on here. Starting at 56. Okay, I can do it at 56. 56 is a decent place for it. It's 2/3, right? Yep. Okay, but there's also the dum, dum, dum percussion in the background there. And that also feels like a good idea to bring in. Start. Do I include red harpies for this? For hard? Yeah, I think so. Nine. $51 and $53. That makes sense as a blue harpy, actually. Is there another one that's... $35 and $37. So really, that should go there. And there. What if red harpy here? How long does this note hold? 4 notes. Interesting. I think that's another 2 notes, and then That's the half note there. Okay. This is good, I think. Now, is that a half beat? Or is that something else? Nope, it's got a little bit of swing to it. Which I think means that goes there. Now, time to see if I kept track of where the worm notes were going to go adequately for that signal. That goes for 2 notes longer. Okay. Notes here. No, I think this goes there and no collision. does that go? Actually, I think that extends all the way out to here. That's interesting. I think I like that. I will keep that. Yeah, what's this bit? This is interesting. Actually, that might end there. I think that is the best representation of this. Yeah, it's 2 notes, 2 notes, 2 notes. That is incorrectly placed. back a bit. To the bats. Go. Thirds. There we go. That's a long none. That's a long one. It's not a long none. What would that be? Trying to make a joke about a long nun, but what makes a person long as a quality that none could have? Long-winded, maybe? I don't know. The joke is going nowhere. Abandoned ship. Okay, I think that goes to 161, so with that. Okay, it extends much longer than that. I think maybe 6 notes? Yep, 6 notes. And no more singing for a bit. Yep, nope, just the percussion. And the bells. Which reminds me I need to start over with the bells. Holy cow, we've been going for 3 hours. And I need to listen for more. There's one more right there. Hang on. That's it. No. That's more accurate. For the three of them. But I think I don't need to worry about it. That's not correct. No. A lot of percussion here, so a lot of harpies in this area. Okay, so we're getting back into the yellow slimes. Interesting. That was just kind of going down. That's getting a little weird because it's going up and down a lot. So the pattern already established might not work. That doesn't fit with the other one that I've got. Two-thirds. Two-thirds. There we go. Okay, so what does this feel like? This goes on for a while. Yeah, I think that's okay. What if every other one? That might be good, I think. Because then it'll feel like it's coming in and then going out towards the end. Yeah, that worked out well, I think. Okay. Now, all the way back here. Were there any bells that I missed? Because I definitely heard a bell in there. But it was towards the end of that bit. Oh, there was one right there. That... Yeah, I'm happy with that. The pattern's a little funky, but... it makes sense if you're listening. There's another one. Was it exactly 162 and a half and then 163? It was. Oh, there was one. So 185, 186. it was. There's a bell in there. But there's also the drum beats, so does that mean more harpies? I think just having the one there works. $260. What was the other one? Is it $259, $260? Yeah. That's an interesting one. 267, 268. That one is echoed a little later. I think it's on the half beat. $275, $276 there. I think that might be beat half beat. Is that correct? Some really low string instrument. Possibly cello, I'm not sure. Might do something for that. Okay, I'm gonna save it. And we're going to transfer over to this. There we go. And we'll retry the stage. See how it feels to play.
3, 2, 1, let's rock!
We've done a good chunk of it. That's interesting. There's one place in particular that I feel like I would edit. We're gonna start over. I want to have a look at it again.
3, 2, 1, bring it on!
Excellent.
Right on! Now we're talking.
I think that's good. I think that's good. I may have come around to it.
3, 2, 1, go!
One more go.
That's how it's done. Skillfully done.
3, 2,
Gotta
1,
try
let's
again.
rock!
If I can do it flawless. Well, without breaking combo.
Yes, yes.
Then I think we're in a good spot. That's rough. That's really rough. Let me have a look at that in the editor for 1 second. That one's fine, I think. Swapping over to this so you guys can see. That feels very rough. I think it might be okay, though. I think we might be okay. Gonna try it one more time to perfect. And then I think we'll maybe stop here. Oh, hang on. You guys on the wrong thing. There we go. Yeah, we might call it after this. We've done some real good stuff here. I'll keep working on it
two,
off
one, let's rock.
camera. And then show the final product, hopefully, on camera
On a roll.
at some point. Okay. I flubbed the easy repeatable bit, so
two,
we're gonna
one, bring it
try that
on.
again.
Awesome.
Excellent.
All right.
I think it's okay.
Right on.
I messed up one part. But we can make it rewarding by adding the vibe chain to that part.
You've got spark.
I feel bad about adding Harpies as percussion to that bit. I feel really bad about adding Harpies as percussion to that bit.
3, 2, 1, go.
We should... add in the Harpies there.
Most excellent.
And see what it feels like.
Quite amusing.
Ah, I flubbed the easy bit because I put in a bit of a misinput.
Good, good.
That's good. That's good though. I think I like where that is. I'm gonna have to label this as pretty intense though.
On a roll.
Most excellent.
That's good. And then I think that's as far as we got. There's a little bit here with the cello, and then the siren starts in again. Alright, that's good, that's good. This is really good. This is so much fun. Okay. Go back to the editor. Bring you guys back to the editor visually. Make sure that out. Hello. OBS, please display the correct thing. I would like it if you did. Hang on. If I close that. Bring up window projector again. Okay. That has refreshed it, and we're good to go. Alright. Let's get down to where the harpies are. We'll be ready to add them. Oh, that's not nice. Da-da-da. That sounds more like an armadillo thing, actually, right there. Dun. I put these in there. Nope, that overlaps one of them, so these have to stay green. $177. Let's put the skeletons on the far left beat. There we go. Bum, 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 bum. Okay. Blue harpy, bum, 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 bum. What would that mean? It would be that, wouldn't it? It is. Okay. it's already getting hit on that beat. What if I just use an armadillo? That's more armadillo beats. This is kind of stupid. That fits, and I don't like it. And the yellows I think we'll save for impossible. pressing point, it kind of softens. Let's look at that whole segment again. I'm actually going to swap this out for a green here and a skeleton here. Yeah, that's fine. Starts there. Does he hit this one? He does. Alright, let's try that. And here's the thing. That whole segment starts at 173. So let's start in here's the fun bit. We get to go to practice mode. Actually, did I save that? Save. There we go. Practice mode, and we'll start at 170. And that'll skip us through the song right to that spot. Goodness gracious. That is rough. That is really rough. I flipped that. Try it again. Try it again. I don't know how I feel about that. Goodness gracious, that's rough. Scoop that in. I think that needs some tweaking. That feels cool. There's still some percussion in there, so there can be more harpies in there. Okay. And let's say we'll end it at 295. Or 290, actually. See if I can get it perfect this time. And when I say let's see if I can get it perfect, what I mean is full combo.
Now we're talking. If I can get this full combo, then I feel confident about it. It's difficult.
Looking swole.
got it. That's so good. It feels so good to get it. Oh my gosh. Okay. And hey, we can precede it. We can precede it.
In the zone. Awesome.
We can precede it with a vibe chain, so if someone has trouble with that bit and can't get past it normally, they can just plow through it with the vibe chain if they successfully completed the prior part. That's good. That's really good. One more time through. And then we save and quit. Actually, we should do the whole thing to that point. So, oh, nope. 290. There we go. And this is a long one. There definitely needs to be some manner of healing earlier on. And I'm not concerned about getting perfect on it right now, just getting through it. All right.
On a roll.
They might be monsters, but you're a beast!
Right on.
Not bad. Okay, so some healing, not much, just a little bit. Because the earlier part is definitely easier than the Harpy Armadillo part. Okay, that's good. That's so good. Oh my gosh. Okay. Yeah, all right. Done for now. See you next time, folks. Wow. Wow. I'm really happy with how this is shaping up. I'll keep working on it, and then we'll get back to it another day. See you then. Oh, I forgot to mention, actually. I figured out a way that you can get back to art streams, so there will be more of those coming. Alright, bye-bye, everyone.